The most important thing each and every Forex trader has to know when it comes to trading is entry points. Entry points are always the ones that are going to control how well we are going to make money and how we are going to lose money, right? So, for example, let's say we are in an uptrend, right? Just by knowing that we are in an uptrend, it doesn't give us the right to say, I'm going to buy here, or I'm going to buy here, or I'm going to buy here, or I'm going to buy there, right? Why? Because in some instances, let's say you know that we are in an uptrend, right? And as you are in an uptrend, it's not like when your trade is here, straight away you're gonna buy it and then it's gonna continue. Remember, we said we have what you call impulse and correction. Impulse and correction, right? As we have these impulses and corrections, what we need to put into mind is when we encounter a correction, right? This is where a trade retraces, right? It can carry us as far as near this low, right? What we know is at this point in time, we don't have to come and break this low because of market structure, we know that we have to go up, right? So it won't be good for us to quickly conclude that we are buying there. Why? Because our trade can drag us. And at the end of the day, since it's not supposed to break a low, it will just turn and go up. And by the time it does so, it would already have liquidated you. But does it mean your analysis was wrong? No, it doesn't mean that. What it simply means is you failed your entry. As much as you had a good analysis into saying that your trade is buying, you failed your entry. So, what is the best place to catch a trade when it comes to trading? When we are in an uptrend, we always want to catch at these reversal points where these lows are made, right? Meaning, if the moment we make a low is exactly the moment we are willing to go up, right? But remember, these lows, the market can make them anywhere within that range. So, how do you know which part of the range is strong enough for you to say, I'm going to buy in particular this trade, right? So, I want to show you this. This is a topic on its own, but it's good for us to know about it, right? Once we discover that we have a low, we mark that low and we touch the high. What it means now is we have a range, right? When we have a range, we mark 50% of that range between the high and the low. So for instance, we can come here and mark this range over there that I've just put, right? So as I've marked that range, what it means to say is I'm not going to buy above the 50%, but I'm looking for buys below the 50% of my range. And if you want to get a bit technical with words, we call this a premium range. And we call this a discount range. Discount range or discount level. Right. The whole reason being We have what we call complete pullbacks. And these complete pullbacks, what they do is there's a past 50% of our range. And then we have incomplete ones, whereby they don't go past the 50%. Okay, let me just mute someone just a second. There's someone with background noise. So let me do this. Right. So what you see is they don't surpass that 50%. Rather, they can just retrace maybe 20, 30% and they go up. As time goes on, we'll start learning about gaps, right? So what these tend to do is, since they're incomplete, yes, they are moving up the trend, but at the end of the day, what they usually leave behind is you see that maybe sometimes they can leave a gap in which price would have to come to and then tap into and go up. So for now, please don't stress yourself on knowing about gaps. Don't stress yourself about knowing about gaps for now, right? Um, let's just do this premium and discount, and then we move from there. So what we are willing to say is, as long as price comes in our discount level, this is when we are now expecting price to give us a low and go up. So it can give us a low there, it can give us a low here, it can give us a low here within that discount range, of which I'm going to teach you as we go on with the lessons. I'm going to be getting more into entries, showing you where to buy and showing you where to sell. But these are the ranges that we look forward to buy trades, especially like say we're in an uptrend. So the reason why we buy in the discount level is this is when price is cheap, right? So we want to buy when price is cheap and sell when price is expensive. So let me give you an example of a sell trend and then we move forward. So let's say we're in a sell market, right? And what we are actually witnessing is we're witnessing lows and highs, lows and let's say here now we want to make a high. So just by knowing that I now have a valid low and a high here, or I have a valid low here and a high there, what I can now do is I can mark that range, right? So I mark the high and the low. What this gives me is it leaves me with a 50% range. So straight after that, what I do is I mark my range. Like in this case, what you see here. And this still remains my premium level, and this still remains my discount level. Right. Now, if I'm selling, I want you to see this. I'm selling when price is expensive, not when price is cheap. Why? Because now I am in a downtrend, meaning that from any point, I'm expecting price to give me a high and then sell off and go down. Before I move any further, do we have anyone with a question? Or do we have someone who think maybe they are confused and they would want to ask? Do we have anyone with a question? Do we have anyone with a question as of now? Do we have anyone with a question as of now? Are we understanding? All right. So would you give me the platform to ask? I think it would rather be fair if I ask you questions so that we see if we are together. I'll ask Bello. Bello of Oluwafemi. I've unmuted you. I've asked you to unmute. Bello Oluwafemi. Can you hear me? All right. I had a particular question to any random person, and seems as if their mic is not going on. Most probably, I can ask Michael. Michael, I've asked you to unmute.
Yes, good day, sir.
Good, good. How are you?
I'm okay.
Why do we sell price? Why do we sell when you are in the premium level?
We sell in the premium level because that's where our price is most expensive, so we have to sell there.
All right. Do you have a basic overview in as to what's the advantage of us selling at an expensive range? What do we benefit from it?
Mostly it's because if we continue buying where price is expensive, we are most likely to get losses because we will be anticipating price to sell off. So if price sells off whilst we were buying, we will most likely get losses there.
All right. All right. What about let me ask let me see. All right. Indian Pelele. I've asked you to unmute. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, sir.
All right.
Okay.
What's the main reason we are buying from a discount level if we are in an uptrend?
The main reason we are buying from discount.
Yes.
If it's in a little idea I know is that if it's in a bullish trend, we'll buy at discount to make profit.
All right. It's to make profit, is it?
Yes, sir.
All right. So for the guys that don't really understand, well, let me just make it clear. Um I understand some of these concepts, they need explanation so that we can be able to understand some things in the future. But some of these, well, these are just book items, right? So let me come in and do this. So this is our premium, as we all know. Let me just give you why we buy from here and why we sell from there. This is our premium and this is our discount, right? This is our discount. Just a second. So what we now know is, say we're in an uptrend, right? We have we will be having our high or low, then our valid low, and our high, and we want to be buying from a discount because imagine we are buying tomatoes and we want to go and sell them somewhere, maybe in a supermarket, maybe we are owning a tuck shop. In the discount level, this is where price is cheap, right? So you can get your tomatoes, let's say, for 10 naira, right? Let's say you get your tomatoes for 10 naira, right? And as you get them for 10 naira, what you would want to do is you would want to sell them, let's say, here, right? And when you sell them for 10 naira and you go with them, let's say to where you stay or to your shop, the moment you reach there, what you do is you start selling them, let's say maybe for 500 naira, right? You start selling them for 500 naira. Right. When we apply this to Forex, we are saying you buy a trade, right? It's 10 naira. This is the discounted price. And then as it goes up, it's gaining value. The moment you hit your take profit, that's the moment that you sell it. This is the moment you're saying, okay, I've bought them for $1, but I've reached my profit, meaning I've reached my take profit, meaning that maybe I'm now selling them for 500 naira. Right. The reason why we don't buy in the premium is, let's say we have our high here and we buy in the premium. Maybe in the premium, your tomatoes are gonna be 450 naira here, right? 450 naira here. And then you buy them. By the time you reach here, you haven't made much profit, right? You are closing at 500 naira, meaning that you have made a profit of 50 naira, which will be very small for that move, right? And when it now incorporates with what we call spread, sometimes you can even close this trade with a loss at the end of the day and not be able to make money. You can place your buy here. I'll also teach you about spread. We didn't do that lesson on spread. You can place a buy here. Let's say immediately you see that your price is here and then you place a buy here, but your initial entry will be up there. I don't know if you've seen that. Now that's what we call spread. That's also the reason why we don't buy in the premium, because our spreads will be high. It's expensive to buy in that area. Right. So same applies when we're in a downtrend like this, right? We have our premium here and we have our discount here. But this time we are not buyers, we are sellers, meaning we cannot sell something that we bought for $1, we cannot sell it for 50 cents. But rather, what we want to do is we want to sell, let's say, let me come here. We want to sell here, let's say we want to sell our tomatoes at 500 naira here, right? Because if we sell them in the discount, we're just gonna sell them at 10 naira. I hope you are now getting me. Why we don't, when we're in a downtrend, why we don't sell in the discount, but we sell in the premium? Because in the premium is where price is expensive. Do you have any questions? All right, let's go on the actual chart. Let's go on derive on the actual chart and see what it is that I'm talking about, right? So let's look for where price was at some point. Let me go to M15. Let me use M15 so that we can quickly find structure in these smaller time frames. So what I would want you to see is here we are in a downtrend. I think we can all see that we are in a downtrend, right? But as we are in that downtrend, we want to first start by marking highs and lows. So let me use these two over here so that we all see. So let me come and check this two, this rectangle two. So we have a high here and for that high, we have this low, we have this high again, we have this low, we have this high again. Now, for someone who might be confused, this is our structural high, right? This here, we don't count it as our high. This here, we don't count it as our high as well. Why don't we count them as our highs? Because they are within the range of this low and this high over here. Remember what I taught you? This is not a break of structure. This is a change of character. Now, when we break here, this is now a break of structure. Why are we saying that? We're saying that because this high over here failed to break the most outstanding high over there. And for this most outstanding high, the low was this low. This is the low that came and broke this high there, which high? This one. Meaning that we only have one valid high at this point, which is this high, right? I just thought maybe I could pass through this topic as well, since we learned about it. Now, what it leaves us is it leaves us with a range. And what's the range? If we come again and we mark the high and we mark the low, what it means is whatever is going, okay, let me do this. Let me not use that color. Let me delete this and let me delete this here. So what I mean to say is if we mark a range like this between the high and the low, it means whatever is going to happen in between that high and that low is going to be what? It's just going to be noise. Right. So these highs and lows, they are for smaller time frames, but they do not define the structural high and the structural low. But what we see here is we had a low, and this low was supposed to come and break the high, but it failed. We did this in our last session, and we said if that low fails, we have to come and hunt for it. And as we hunt for it, once we break it, we term this a change of character. And as we break that box, now we call this our low, which is now a full break of structure. Right. So as we had that break of structure, where was our point that we were supposed to take a trade? So at this point now, we know that we now have that high over here and this low over here, meaning that we must, at this point, we mark 50% of that box, which is here, right? And as we mark 50% of that box, ladies and gentlemen, we are now doing Forex. So you really have to listen to this. So what you know is we now have a premium and we now have a discount here. As we have that premium and discount, we know that when price gets in the discount, we are not supposed to sell it in the discount. We are supposed to sell it in the premium. And what did price do? Price came, tapped in the premium, and then it sold. Meaning that on this trade, since we are selling on this trade, the premium level worked. Now, as the premium level worked, what you see is we came and we broke that low, meaning that we are supporting the fact that we are in a downtrend, right? Let's say we had taken our first trade. For our second trade, what we'll do is we now have a new high and we now have a new low. And where is that new high? That new high is here now, right? So this is now our new high over here, and this is our new low. Why is this our new high in the sell side direction? Because it's the one that broke the previous low here to give us a new low here, right? So we mark a range or a box, meaning that we can remove this range here, and we mark 50% of what? We mark 50% of this box to demarcate the difference between our new premium and our new discount level, right? So let me check if I marked the areas correctly. I think I did. And what you see is we now have a let me mark here. We now have a premium, and we now have a discount level over here, right? So since we're in a sell side direction, we have to let price come to our premium level, and then we sell it off. When we sell it off, it should give us another new low and another new high. And as you can see, in this case, it worked. It gave us another new high, and when it broke down, it gave us another new low. So after doing that, what do? We mark the new high and we mark the new low. So this is our new high over there, and this is our new low. And I want you to check something. What do we do again? We mark the premium and the discount level at the 50%. So let's properly mark it. Okay, let's mark it again properly. Sorry. Right, perfect. And what do you see? What you see is price came, then it came in our premium level, just tweaked in it, and then it sold off, meaning that we are now expecting to get on another new high and another new low, which will mark, give our premium and our discount level from there. So this is how premium and discount levels look when you actually put them on a live chart. And this is volatility 100, and based from what we are seeing, we can even wait for it to give us a confirmed low, which I will help you, and I'll teach you on how you can spot a confirmed low and a low that isn't confirmed, right? We'll do that on our next session. So yeah, I don't know if we have any questions that we have as of now. All right, we have Mr. Simpa. Simpa, how are you?
Hello, boss.
Good, how are you?
All right, I wanted to ask what so Tishtangila like wire time frame up to the lowest. So far, I'm apply my supply my premium and discount zones.
Can you rephrase that? I think we also have some people who can't hear you. I've unmuted you, Mr. Simba.
All right, I was asking, Guti, can we continue applying the premium and discount zones from the higher time frames up to the lowest one?
All right, now here is what happens. You can, but if you choose a specific time frame to work with, when it comes to premium and discounting, it's best to stick to one time frame that you can say, I'm sticking to this. Like what I just did, I just stuck to M15. I never went to M5, neither M30. So it's something that you would say, let's say you've seen, let's say this is your H4, right? And manage to witness that this is your premium and this is your discount levels. Let me say, for example, here, this is M15. The only way that you would start switching to smaller time frames is, say you've seen gaps or order blocks here and you'd want to refine them. That's when you can start going to smaller time frames, but still maintaining your analysis from your M15 time frame. So you can only switch when you are now looking for that perfect entry point. But if you see this in H4, you don't expect to go to M15 and see it. Why? Because M15 is also going to have its own premium and discount level.
All right, okay. All right, that's okay.
All right.
I get it.
All right. I've unmuted Bamboo. I've unmuted you. You can ask. I don't know if it's Bamboo or Bamboo. All right. Willard, I've unmuted you.
Good evening, sir.
Evening, how are you?
Yes, maybe I just want to ask something, or maybe
Okay.
the lesson is, or maybe you are going to deliver the lesson. I just want to know about the perfect time to enter the trade. Maybe I'm rushing, I don't know.
All
From
right.
the example that you have given there,
All
when
right.
exactly do we enter the trade?
Um,
Suppose we are in the premium level.
this is what I can say. What I can say is the best time frames to enter trades, the best time frame that I can put it is a default is M15.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Always,
Okay.
always, always I can give you that as a default.
Okay. All right.
Like in this case, you see that we are having, okay, this is now actually something that we can do live together. We have a high and with this low that has been confirmed. So what we can do is we can mark our premium and discount level. I'm expecting price to come in the premium and then push a bit further down. So this is something practical and this is M15. This is actually a trade that we can all trade together and work with. All right. So what you can do is we can go practice. Let's see if we're able to spot these zones. I think we are all in the group. Let's ask questions in the group where you don't understand, and then I'll always attend to you. But this is one of those concepts whereby if you really want to scale up and make money from it, you can actually train your eye, look at this, and scale up. So let's call it a night. Those with questions, feel free, ask me in the group, and then yeah, we move on. So let's have a great night.